To dry your grain effectively, it is important to understand how to accurately measure the moisture content. This video will teach you why moisture content is so important and show you how to properly measure the moisture content of your grain. First, let's explore what moisture content is. Moisture content is the weight of water contained in paddy or rice and is expressed as a percentage. For example, you might dry your grain to 14% moisture content or your seed to 12% moisture content. Moisture content usually refers to the wet basis, which means the total weight of the grain including the water. Moisture content wet basis. For research, moisture content sometimes refers to the dry matter of the grain. Moisture content dry basis. To effectively manage and market paddy and rice, it is important to correctly test the moisture content. If you do not test the moisture content properly, an inaccurate result will lead to extra drying costs and harvesting loss if paddy is harvested wetter than necessary. If the grain is too wet in storage, it will spoil. There will be a loss of quality and extra drying costs if paddy is over-dried. A reduction in head rice recovery will occur if grain is milled at the wrong moisture content level. There may be weight loss if grain is sold too dry and thus a drop in profit. There are two methods used to measure moisture content: the oven method and the moisture tester. To measure moisture content using the oven method, use a temperature-controlled oven. First, set the oven to 130 degrees centigrade. Make sure the temperature is not higher than specified because chemical changes will occur within the grain which can cause additional weight loss. Step 2. Weigh 3 paddy samples and place them inside the oven. Step 3. Measure the final weight of the samples after 16 hours. Step 4. Compute the moisture content wet basis using this equation. Moisture content wet basis equals the initial weight of the paddy minus the final weight of the paddy. Divide this by the initial weight of the paddy and then multiply the result by 100 to get the moisture content wet basis for those samples. Step 5. Compute the average moisture content of the 3 samples by adding the equated moisture content of each sample together and dividing it by 3. Let's review those 5 steps again. Set the oven to 130 degrees, weigh 3 samples of paddy and place them in the oven. Measure the final weight of the samples after 16 hours. Then compute the moisture content wet basis of the samples before computing the average moisture content. To use a quick moisture meter, first read the operating instructions. Then check that the batteries are still good. Next, turn on the power and make sure the machine is set for paddy or rough rice. Then, fill the tray or bowl of the moisture tester with the paddy sample. Turn or press the knob until the moisture reading is displayed. It may take a little force, but make sure you turn the knob all the way as described in your manual, or you will get a wrong reading. Test at least 3 samples of the grain for an accurate moisture content reading. Let's review those steps again. Read your operating instructions and check that the batteries are good. Turn on the machine and set it for rough rice or paddy. Fill the tray or bowl with a paddy sample and turn the knob all the way until a reading is displayed. Then follow the steps again, testing 3 or more samples. You can use the oven method to test the moisture content when a moisture meter is not available, but you must use a temperature-controlled oven. You may also use the oven method to calibrate the moisture tester. Quick moisture testers are most suitable for use in the field and for trade, but be sure the batteries are good before each use. Now, you are ready to accurately measure the moisture content of your grain using a method that suits you best. Remember, accurate testing means better quality rice and paddy.